Bigbossjock radio show. Listeners are encouraged to rise up, confront the U.S. government, kick off the revolution, be part of the solution, liberate the Confederate States of America, the Alamo, placed as the Capitol. Analyst assessment. Episode 73. A video clip being assessed was posted by NBC News. Clip entitled "Watch Live. Trump participates in Immigration and Border Security Roundtable." Posted April 5, 2019. Airtime 52 minutes, 2 seconds. Enter into the clip 47 minutes, 18 seconds. Computer-generated psychological operation. Right side of the screen. Hand with a camera. First time reveals identity. Hand with black color attire. Could have been a black drab jumpsuit, such as the elite forces use. Revealed self as a possible civilian, though at the same while maybe a Mexican federal police official, dressed in a similar type of attire. Quite possible. A new arrival, family member, one of the others, just arrived recent, the invite, soon to be hired. Learns the formalities. Perception of the viewer is supposed to be as such. Well, listener, what do they think? Who was the one at the bottom of the screen? Have you given that any thought? Probably hadn't tuned into the conference due to not much that's viable is mentioned. It's rubbish, the information. Though, I'm sure probably a couple million took a look at the clip, or part of the clip. Mainstream news has its viewership. When entered into the screen, member of Team Chicano, hand with a camera, remember is computer generated. Learn to think as an analyst. Compare movements. The ongoing agenda. Learn a step further. Decipher the code, which is sent in the subliminal messages. The whole performance, the production, the hand, the man moving into the screen, it's computer generated. What would be the intent of the programmer? Give that some thought, listener. 47 minutes, 18 seconds. Entire scene is troublesome. Shake of hands showed lack of respect. Hand with the camera captured the entire image. 2 shutters. Handshake took place. The one who's doing the recon for the computer-generated assassination, 2 shutters, took 2 shots. Soon as finished handshake with the leader, U.S. President, hand with the camera, widened the angle. Nubia is making the handshake. Action showed the focus, and that is the widening of the angle on the camera. Viewed on the screen of the camera. Other group pictured has more importance. Captured numerous images. Recipient of commendation approached Chief Gloria after shaking hands with the U.S. President. Nubia, instead of shaking hands with the general, proceeded towards the left of the screen. Team Autonomous California began to shake the hands. Lack of respect. Subordinate with superiors. Chief of the Calexico station of the U.S. Border Patrol. Chief of the Calexico station. Agent of the Border Patrol. And that's U.S. Border Patrol. Doesn't hold the same rank as a general from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So it would be customary for a subordinate to shake the hand of the general and then proceed to shake the hand of who is being termed chief of what is called now Border Patrol. Though, from what I understand, I don't, but I'm imagining the chief must be such as the police departments. Each local precinct has a chief, so that must be the chief for the Calexico port of entry agent of the U.S. Border Patrol. Lack of respect, computer generated, show that the alliance between who received the commendation and the shake of hands showed that the recipient was with Team Autonomous Region of California. Didn't bother. Now former Secretary of U.S. Homeland Security is higher ranking than the Calexico U.S. Border Patrol chief. The local station doesn't hold the rank as the U.S. federal entity Homeland Security with its secretary. Quite rude actions. Now termed president of something that's called the National Border Patrol Council. Not the U.S. Border Patrol, national. It's the national, not the U.S. National U.S. Border Patrol Council, President Kevin. It's National Border Patrol Council. Well, whose nation? Autonomous Region of California or the United States of America? Either way, quite a high level of disrespect in that handshake. Furthermore, inappropriate, the general seated next to the president, along with the chief of the Calexico Station, U.S. Border Patrol, on the other side, with the gun on the hip, the general with a attitude as if is in control, stance as well, position, how seated in the chair, is to condition the public to take on new leadership. 47 minutes, 27 seconds. Play them, freeze the image. Look at the facial gestures placed to the U.S. President. Primal instinct, skills, predatorial sex addict, computer generated, placed image to the U.S. presidency. Give some thought, reader, listener. That's a programmer at the USDIA. What's their intention? They have something in mind for the U.S. citizen. Been stripped of their identity, about to have a different name placed to their country. You gonna allow that? Speaking right to you, listener. Time to rise up. Confront the U.S. government. Kick off the revolution. Do not allow the breakup of the U.S. territory. Liberate the Confederate States of America. The Alamo, placed as the capital. 47 minutes, 33 seconds. Computer generated. Female attendee whistled from the audience. There was a whistle. Whoo-hoo! Stated, "You go, girl." Computer generated. Something for the people to think about, listeners. Them, they, person, grouped with the people. You, U.S. citizen, being subjected to such a deception. Computer generated place dialogue. It's not just to the Calexico conference. It's to every program. Place a program that was produced in 1993 or newer. The same type of assessment can be made. Any event, any issue has received, and that's every issue, every event, whether it be a presidential election or a supposed terrorist attack on New York City. The same type of computer generation has taken place. Listeners should find that troublesome. They've been duped. "47 minutes, 33 seconds. Freeze image. Play. Then freeze. Computer generated. U.S. President facial expression. Eyes placed on buttocks. Recipient as walks." The female that was whistled at, told by the other female, "You go, girl." First of all, a woman, a female that menstruates is not a girl. Yankee fornicates the girls. From the 1-month-old to the elderly. All term girls. Yankee's sick. Their sexual orientation is skewed due to the computer-generated productions. They're being indoctrinated to practice low morals. Their women should not be termed girls. And them, as a young man, are not a boy. They should be offended to be called that word. Kids are queers. Children are to be respected. 47 minutes, 36 seconds. Statement made, Dawn. "She'll get it done." Computer generated. First filled the room canned sexual tied laughter with a statement. "She'll get it done." Due to comment, "You go, girl." Computer generated. Compelled to talk. Made inappropriate comment. Placed to the U.S. presidency. And that's Dawn. He didn't say, "You go, girl." He said, "She'll get it done." As if her performance is tied to sex, with his eyes fixated on her buttocks. Computer generated. The intent is to take away the presidency. Does that gain your approval, listener? Were you aware of that deception? Speaking the language of you, could that be understood? Given that any thought? About being duped? Should be quite upset. Go out there, kick off the revolution. Confront the U.S. government. 47 minutes. 47 seconds. Statement made, Dawn. On time, on budget. Maybe under budget, okay. Under budget, under time. That's happened before, hasn't it? Analyst assessment statement should have been on time within budget. Maybe even under the estimated cost figure. Statement of Dawn, backwards riddle. Term wrong on budget. In connection with under budget, okay. Subconscious of the viewer, perceived wavered on statement. Said something contradictory. In time or not, maybe due to his on budget. Second half of statement, when read, loops back. What's on time? The budget? No, within the budget. Or is the budget on time or is it under budget? Either way, shouldn't have been stated in such a way. Should have been on time within budget. Maybe even under the estimated cost figure. Talk at a higher intellect level. Behave as a leader. Though the viewer, the listener, understands it's not a genuine performance. It's computer generated to take away the U.S. presidency. Are they ready for a new form of government? One that's going to be forced upon them? More restrictive? More oppressive? That's the need for the deception. Otherwise, the issue would have been presented clearly, and the population would have had the option, been able to make the decision, instead of being deceived into taking on a new form of governance. Should be upsetting. Stop to be complacent. 47 minutes, 47 seconds. Viewer perceptions varied based on affiliation. If identified with Don, perception formed is just what goes on, due to many are the same. If are in opposition, oblivious received a loop, backwards riddle, programmed is the tune, later will whistle, yakety with yak, back what they were programmed. 47 minutes, 48 seconds, statement made Dawn. I just wanted to thank everybody. We're going over to the new section of wall. Analyst assessment. U.S. President, final of address, unacceptable behavior. Computer generated, about lost is the presidency. Unacceptable, we to close. Shows isn't any longer the leader. Show me with a bunch, just another. Doesn't mean much. The U.S. President. Dot wall. No name for the project. No identification of the section of wall that just was constructed. It's the new section of wall. Over to the new section of wall. We're going over there. Not the president with the presidential group, whatever name they chose to place. Back in the day, it wasn't this rubbish. It was an honor to be with the president. It wasn't all. Everyone's just chatting. Gonna go over probably to the bar after that and have a drink or two. Get a bit tipsy. That goes along with being a fornicator. Yankee turned into a drunkard. Everyone knows what happened to the natives when they were introduced to alcohol. Well, Yankee, they'd known about alcohol all along. Should have turned to the reefer instead of became a lush. Their goblet that holds a half a liter of wine, not filled to the brim, just a quarter liter. Their one drink a day? No, two. Her. Along with him. His 12-pack, or is it the fifth? Or they drink much more than that. They need a half of a liter or more. What's the fifth? Or is it right there? I don't know. I don't drink anymore. I know better. I smoke reefer. Reader needs to, and that's the listener, needs to give some thought. Which entity chose to place the computer-generated dialogue? Been named the USDIA is responsible, though it's a group at the USDIA. The entire agency is formed in the structure of a pyramid. For that matter, the entire Yankee Nation. And, well, so is the entire world. Government after government, there isn't one that isn't under the leadership of the USDIA. Their Congress members, their presidents are USDIA operators around the world, one after another. Germany, do a DNA test. Germany, Merkel, Macron, Sarkozy, Aznar, Blair, Cristina Fernandez, in Argentina, Lugo, Ortega, Correa, Diaz-Canal, or is it Canal-Diaz? He's Jeff Agenson from Red Bluff, California. One after another. USDIA operators. It's time that the public becomes aware. This can be proven quite easily. They have yearbook photos. The eyes can be matched. Most of them have movie careers. Played the part of an extra if it wasn't the lead. Por estas calles. Nicolas Maduro, he's Nicholas Ernhoff. On that show, Franklin Siqueira, the lead actor. That doesn't mean much, though if they made an investigation, they would find that there's a multitude of murders tied to the show, to the set, the area where the show was filmed. One after another tied back to the show. U.S. National Security investigation halted. U.S. National Security holds weight around the world, is able to be invoked by the operators at their need. It's what sets their placement. They're held by blackmail, one immoral act after another. And that's what holds the pyramid in place. No one budges. They don't make much of a fuss. Because if not, well, they'll be held responsible for hideous crimes, murder, sexual assaults, sexual violations with murder. Usually the suspects are tortured, sexually tortured to death, strangled, throats cut, multitude of gruesome different ways. USDIA. Their behavior is accepted by the U.S. Yankee public due to they're told it's for their safety. They don't demand any type of investigation. The entire U.S. government is a pyramid. Each agent in their place, following orders. It's time to wake up. Confront the U.S. government. And that's those inside of the U.S. government included. They're going to join the Confederate States of America, join the revolution, helping liberate the country, pick up their pride, do things right. Well, don't be offended about comments made towards Yankee law enforcement. Oh, they are swine. They have their style. Turn this entire place into a sty. It's time to do things right. Be a proud Confederate agent. Not be subjected any longer to the group that's in control. Turning the other way when knowing they should continue with the investigation. Our one only God, He helps me with this rhyme, line by line. I do give my thanks, along with gratitude, for our Father in heaven, our one only God. This is the Bigbossjock. Before signing off, May 23rd, Shasta County Superior Court, 8:30 in the morning, Redding, California. I'd appreciate some assistance. It doesn't take being a law enforcement official if they choose to do this one. Well, maybe they're a ham operator and they have a handheld radio, 900 megahertz FM, 900.0000 megahertz. If they send me 12 ohms, I'd go, go, go. My eyes, red they glow. Sure would be a sight in the courtroom with glowing eyes. I mean, everyone pretending nothing's happening. Though, they sure do get a little spooked. The intelligence community, when the one that they abuse has the red glowing eyes. Oh, yeah, it's a different attitude. They can't have that. It's code red at the Shasta Dam. I do encourage anyone with a 100-watt AM CB radio, well, go ahead, open the mic, activate the stem receiver. It is quite a sight. One only God, He helps me do this rhyme. I do give my thanks along with gratitude for our Father in heaven. It's the Bigbossjock. momentarily signing off.